What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So I'm very happy to bring you the Plaguestar 2025 guide. The event that lets you farm a bunch of Forma is back, and we've got some great strategies today for slaying out the Steel Path version very, very quickly. You're going to be seeing a sub 7 minute Steel Path group run, and you could even make it quicker in the future. Of course, the fastest I've seen for this run is 5 minutes, 2 seconds, using set strategies from this video today. So let's hop right in. But before we do, make sure so this channel daily Warframe video uploads, build videos, news videos, all that kind of stuff. You're at Place Warframe content. Additionally, there are tons of strategies you could use for Plaguestar, so don't feel obligated to just use the only things I show in the video today, because honestly, it's a pretty fun event to speedrun, in my opinion, so lots of options. Now, as far as why you'll be speedrunning this event, oh, and also, we will be doing live stream giveaways for Omniforma through this event, if you want to come on, stop by, but yeah, that's besides the point. The reason you'll be grinding out this event is to get the operational rep to go over here and buy some Forma for reputation. It's 3K rep per Forma, and you get 3,600 rep from a Steel Path run. So, compared to the normal Path run, you only get straight 3K on that. Over the course of 5 missions, you'll get an extra Forma. Actually, you'll get quite a few over time. You're grinding this a lot, which I'd recommend. Additionally, there's other options here. You can get one built Omniforma for 5K, and that is one for the entire event. There's some other things here too, like Exodia Contagion, Arcanes, Fulmination Sacrifice mods, and some rare fish parts. As far as new stuff here, you got the Hemocyte Floof, Glyph, and Sigil. Now let's talk about some builds and how to run Plaguestar, speed run. Like, that's honestly what we're here to do. We want to get the Forma as quickly as possible. We want to knock out the Steel Path as safely and as quickly as possible. While you're running this bounty, it's going to be here for 2 weeks. Reminder, this is 2 weeks, so speedrunning is very important because you only have limited time. You're going to be going over here. Now, once you've done the first level, let's say this is your first Plaguestar ever. You're going to do the first level of Plaguestar with none of the Eidolon, Phylaxis, or Infested Catalyst items. But once you've done this a couple times, you'll unlock the second level, or you can just jump right to the Steel Path, and if you have the resource, this will be the best place to farm it is the Steel Path, again, because you get so much extra rep over time. Now, as far as frames and what's the best stuff to run for this, this boss, we're basically doing a bounty with a boss at the end, and the big thing about the boss is that it has a per pellet damage cap, okay? So the best types of weapons to DPS the final boss of Plaguestar are as follows. High pellet, high damage, and crit. Shotguns are very, very good. So we got the Boar Prime as my go-to recommended DPS primary for this. But additionally, the Pyrana Prime pistol is also very, very good. And the Burston Prime is also pretty good too, as is the Kuva Comb and the Strun Prime. Now, the thing about the Burston Prime is it needs some Incarnate ammo, which can be kind of annoying in some cases. But let's go ahead and show a run of the strategy I'll be recommending to you as far as Plaguestar. So this will be a sub 7 minute Plaguestar run. And just try to bear with me as we go through this. I'm trying to narrate everything that happens here. So we're going to go ahead and load in. As far as our team composition for this, we have Nova Prime, Volt Prime, Wisp Prime, and Mag Prime frames. The weapons are pretty much the Boar Prime and the Pyrana Prime for DPS. But first things first, we're going to be using some use of game mechanics here to force teleport the drone to the best spots. So you want to go ahead and use the build I'm showing today, Secret Agent Decoy Nova, to put a decoy near the front door of Cetus. I recommend you put it right on top of the shield pylon right next to the door. It's very easy to remember there. And you don't need to be on top of the shield pylon. You can just be near the shield pylon. But basically, put it near that shield pylon. The host, who should be the Nova, is going to just basically blitz to the first objective, which will be a toxin canister deep in a cave. Run the Decaying Dragon Key and Bleeding Dragon Key to be very easy to kill. And also shoot your gun to make the Grenier mad at you so they know you're there. And as they kill you, the Save Your Decoy augment mod from Nova will teleport you to where you put your decoy, which is going to be that shield pylon we talked about. If you do everything right and you have your teammates also going to that shield pylon, you will spawn the objective, the defense objective, at this same spot basically every time. A very easy to defend spot and also a great spot to have something next drone spawn location, which will be, I believe it's by this river thing. Now, I'll give you a great spot. After we're done going through this run, these builds, I'm going to do a quick run through. But basically, go to where I show on the map, and it's kind of like a ballpark of it, basically. You can stand really, really close to the drone spawn spot. But yeah, you just basically have a 3-minute timer here, guys. This is where, if you are doing some major prep work, you could actually set some more speed run things. So things you could do on this part. Put your Atomocycle bike at the front door of Cetus, and it will leave the front door open for you to speed run to the door at the edge. You can also put your necromech there too instead if you prefer that. But yeah, big thing here is just, this is a 3-minute downtime mobile defense objective. We're going to just go do prep for the rest of the mission. This is where Nova should be also getting her portals ready. And also, if you have the elite on-call crew member, Hoba, or whatever you want to call it, throw them down and have them hold position. They will defend the objective and give you some XP to level things up. So now here we are with Nova, doing the pre-portal method. So we're going to go to where the drone will be spawning at. And we're going to put our portals in, we have so we're allowed to have 4 Nova portals up at a time, and Nova portals have infinite duration. They don't have infinite uses. So we want to get our portals, teleport the drone from its spawn spot to the actual hemo site spawning location for the boss. So you don't have to be super, super good about this, but I'll show you what the spots I like. It really depends on also how much range you have in your Nova. If you're really tryharding Plaguestar, you'll have range Invigorations. If you're lucky, I don't have one of those, but if you're lucky, you might have one, and that can change where your portals will be because you're going to have more range than pretty much everyone else in the game. Okay, so now that we've gone over what you're supposed to do during this 3-minute time, let's go ahead and fast forward through some of this because, you know, it's just a 3-minute timer, basically. A great time to go hunt a Thumper to get some rare resources or mods, maybe. The big thing here, though, is since we have Volt and Wisp, we can make our ARchwings very, very fast, and it'll help us go to the special camping spot. Basically, when the timer's about to be done, this is when everyone should go to the special camping spot, which we'll go ahead and show you momentarily here. You, as whoever is grabbing the canister here, is going to wait till the very end of the objective, grab it, and then hopefully you have Volt speed or Wisp motes to fly very fast in ARchwing to the spawn spot. So here's the spawn spot right here, right behind the drone, like right next to this cliff. So it's really not that hard to find, and we're going to go ahead and show that to you later. If you do these things properly, the drone will spawn really close to the objective, which is great for you because your portals are already down on the objective. So as you activate the drone, the drone will go through the portals. Again, you can do this even more min-max if you want to. You can literally have the drone, like, the millisecond it spawns, activate, which you could totally do, but it just comes with practice. So, yeah, now that you've done this, you start the final phase of the fight, and this is one of the most annoying phases for most players. We're trying to get the boss to spawn. To do this, you must kill Infested, and the Infested do not spawn very fast. So go hunt down some Infested and kill them, and the Grenadier kills do not count. Once you've gotten to 25%, boss number 1 will spawn, and to kill this boss, we're going to be using a couple nice little methods. So, use the 4th ability of Nova M Prime with the Speed Nova version. It will make the boss move faster out of the objective. Additionally, we've got Mag's Bubble, the 2nd ability of Mag, I think it's called Magnetize. You put that bubble on the boss, it makes it really easy to kill the boss, because usually you have to shoot weak points on the boss, but Mag's Bubble means you can just shoot it in the body, and it will count as a kill, or count as a damage shot. So, really good stuff here. That's why this is where your Boar Prime comes in clutch. So as you can see, we can shred these Steel Path boss heads instantly. That boss is alive for like 10 seconds, if that. And most of it was just walking out of the objective. So while that boss is on the map, try not to kill any extra enemies because those enemies are needed to spawn the next boss. And the kills do not count while the boss is out. The kills only count when the boss is not out, okay? So additionally, your Vastilok user, who will be the person removing the armor of the boss, should be removing armor as the boss leaves the boil. And as you can see, it's just pretty straightforward once you get the strategies down. So just rinse and repeat. There's 4 bosses to kill. And, you know, as far as good weapons to kill these trash ads with, you can use the Ocucor, you could use the Agrit, you could use the Spore Lacer. It depends what weapons you're using the DPS with and what weapons you have open. So another frame that can be good for this, Mesa can gun these trash ads down. I would say Mesa's not that meta for this, but she's pretty good. As is Mirage with Explosive Ledger Main, or just, you know, like spamming rocket launchers. Always a tried and true method in Warframe. Now the final boss is out, you can just gun them down again, because that's literally what you're doing the entire event. And yeah, you're good to go. Just kill them all. And once you're all done with this, fly back to the door. Hopefully someone on your team did leave your Atama Cycle or your Necromech there to leave the door open. If not, it's not that big of a deal. You lost like, what, 3 seconds? Who cares? But you might actually care about those things in the long run because you'll be doing this a lot. I think I grinded out like 44 today through these methods. So yeah, now that we've talked about all this stuff and we've killed all the bosses, let's go ahead and talk about all these builds and how you can utilize these things. Hopefully to get some pretty good speed runs on your team. Oh yeah, also, the boss does drop relics, so pretty nice little relic farm along with a Forma farm from this event. Okay, so good stuff there. Everyone get back to the door as quickly as possible so we can get that sub 7 minute for the video, as you can see. So yeah, 6:57, they finally got to the door, and 6:59, we're out of there. Hey, I'm not lying, it's sub 7 minutes, and it's right there as you can see. So as far as builds and all that for this, let's go ahead onto the planes. We can talk about the spots you want to do for all of these different locations. So as far as what you should be doing on the plains of Eidolon for this, The spots you want to go to are as follows. So the drone spawning is going to be in the various locations. So here's the first shield pylon tower. Again, you could be at the top of the tower, you could be at the bottom of the tower. Just basically stand around here. I do think that the top of the tower is the easiest to remember. But yes, that's your first step. There's the front door of Cetus right there, and then here's your shield pylon tower. Okay, now here's the one that's going to be a little bit hard to remember. Now that we're going to always have the objective spawning over here, what you need to do as your team is you need to go from here. We're going to go pretty close to the boil. So the exact spot will be like around like where this waypoint is. Actually, it's a little bit above that waypoint. So right over here. So the spots you can stand for this force drone spot are between this cliff right here and about like over here somewhere. So the furthest spot you can spawn is like, or stand is way over here. I would recommend for people that are looking to have a pretty good run, stand like right around here, honestly. In between back there, the farthest you can stand, and the closest you can stand. If you stand too close, you can mess it up. But yeah, if you do have everyone standing like right around here after the objective, it should spawn the drone right over here, the closest spawn location possible. Now, as far as the teleport spots, I would like to let you guys know that this steel path bounty is actually the fake steel path, so you could actually spam energy pads on the steel path, because it's not even a real steel path. There is no steel essence involved with this event at all. So, as far as drone teleport spawn spots, you can put lock pins there if you'd like to, but for my build, 110 meter portals, I go like this. Portal number 1 to that rock. Portal number 2, try to get like around right where that rock is. You should hit like right around there. Third portal, you know, right around, like basically just across the river. The drone is a little bit on your side nowadays, so you can actually go a little bit further up too. So maybe aim like right here. From that rock to this rock can be good because you have a good angle right where the drone has to go, which is like right around there. So you can do that, or the end of this portal spot was right here. So again, right there can also work too. The drone will go through these portals and get to the objective really, really fast. So now that we established that stuff, let's go over all the builds. You can show how this stuff all works. Again, Mag, I would say, is probably one of the hardest roles to play for this, just because Mag has to place the bubble. And of course, if you don't want to place the bubble with Mag, you don't have to. It's just a personal preference thing. So as far as one of the main characters for this, it's Nova. She is who the host should probably be if you're running out all these forma, because she's going to load in first. Don't worry too much about having volt speed. That sub 7-minute run you just saw right there, I did not have volt speed at the beginning of that, okay? So you do not need volt speed to start things off. But as far as Archon shards, I've got 2 casting speed Archon shards and 3 power strength Archon shards for Tau Red. This is because I want to have some power strength to make my 4th ability, Molecular Prime, make enemies move faster, and it does scale with power strength in 2025. The old speed Nova stuff does not exist anymore. Additionally, we've got Decoy from Loki. We want to have a lot of duration for this, so we've got a lot of duration on the build. And also, Wormhole, 110 meter range. Again, if you have a range Invigoration, you can get like a 300 meter portal, which will make your portal route different. But yeah, for this kind of range, it's totally fine. And again, you don't have to go every mod for range. It's actually, I don't even think it's necessary at all. But as far as the builds on here, I've got Escape Velocity. This helps you go into that cave a little bit quicker. Whenever you go through a wormhole portal, it gives you a movement speed buff for 7 seconds, which does scale with duration. So we got a 10.85 second speed buff. Now, you can also use Dispatch Override for more speed buffs, but this is fine, because only one person needs to use the Vastilok. Sprint Boost works on ARchwing, so Sprint Boost is great. Prime Sure-Footed, if you have it, is great to not get knocked around. And for range mods, we got Overextended and Augur Reach. Augur Reach will give you some shields if you're using Cascadia Overcharge. But big thing here, guys, save your decoy from Loki. When we place that decoy and we die on purpose to the Grenadier, we teleport across the map like Goku. And honestly, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I made this build in like 2021. I think it was 2021 or 2023 for Hydroid, and I'm glad that we're still using it in 2025 with Nova. Vigorous swap on here. I'm going to go for my Ocucor to kill trash ads and my Boar to kill the boss. So really, really easy there just to get big damage buff. And we've got Prime Flow. Your portals cost 75 energy. You need to cast 4 of them, so this could be kind of nice. Additionally, you could maybe throw on some energy regen if you're not having enough energy to cast your portals. Prime Continuity is good because you need duration for decoy to be getting all the way in the cave and getting out. So I'd recommend at least this. Multi-efficiency does give us 36% more duration too. As far as another Arcane, Arcane Avenger, we're getting damage pretty often here, so you'll have the Avenger up pretty often as well, but you can throw on something else like maybe Arcane Tempo for more fire rate for shotguns. Okay, for the Boar Incarnon, for the main DPS weapon for this, I'd recommend the Incarnon perks of Rifid Bane, Ready Retaliation, and Critical Parallel. We're not going for status procs at all because the boss is immune to status procs. Now, this build might look weird, and it's actually not a very good build if you don't have a Wisp on your team, okay? There's no fire rate mods in here at all, and there's reload speed and magazine size. So you need to have a Wisp on your team if you're using a build like this, because Wisp modes are crazy strong. Well, they can be crazy strong. But yeah, we also have no fire out here because of those Wisp modes. So as far as why I've modded for heat, if you haven't played for a while, DE did change what enemies are weak to, and Infested are now weak to fire damage and slash. They used to be weak to blast and corrosive. It's different nowadays. So I'd recommend you mod for heat damage if you want to damage the Hemocyte as much as possible. So as far as a Riven mod, I've got damage, multi-shot, heat, minus Corpus. If you don't have the Riven like that, just run Blaze. I know it's an expensive, hard to get mod. If you don't have Blaze, because it's an expensive, hard to get mod, you could go for maybe like Vigilante Armaments or something like that. But basically, you just need to have a mod that is not status focused and is meant to kill these Infested. Ideally, you have Infested Bane as well, but again, I'm not expecting everyone in the game to have this stuff. And the reason we have these is because you want to be able to kill 2 Infested Hemocyte heads in one magazine, and hopefully kill the third one immediately after. With Shotgun Vendetta and Prime Tactical Pump, we reload the Boar in about like 0.8 seconds, so very good. Shotgun Vendetta, on shotgun, kill within 5 meters, increased multi-shot. Like I said earlier, the boss has a per pellet damage cap, so the more pellets the better, and the faster we fire, the better. The Boar is full auto, so very, very good on that front. So yeah, if you have any more questions about this, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. For Ocucor, we're using this for trash ad clear. You could use the Agrit instead or something else. Just basically find a way to kill the trash ads, but do not kill the spawn pods. The spawn pods are needed to spawn more enemies. So if you destroy those, you're going to make the mission go a little bit slower. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I did not make a new build for this mission because we are using so many damage buffs, we don't really need it. But yeah, I just got like a corrosive, heat, magnetic Ocucor build. You could totally go for like fully heat focus if you want to have it fully focus on killing the Infested. But yeah, ideally you just have beam range, sentient surge, and just big damage pretty much. Again, there's other things you could use there too. We'll probably show that here in a second. Now, only one person in your team needs the Vastilok armor strip. Everyone else can use the Praetos. So I've got sprint speed increase. Again, sprint speed works on ARchwings, and parkour increase to let me get into that cave faster to get that objective. I've got Vazarin Focus Tree to keep me alive because I'm running 2 Dragon Keys that make me less tanky. This is going to be like a nice little protective sling here, giving me invincibility for 5 seconds and fully healing me. I'm not joking when I say we're running 2 Dragon Keys to make this where we are more reliably dying. Even though it's a steel path, the enemies are not very good at killing us in this game sometimes. So, Bleeding Dragon Key and Decaying Dragon Key from your clan dojo, Orican Lab will make you a lot easier to kill for the Grineer, and they need that help because they're really bad at doing it. There will be times you go to a cave and it's like, why is this Grineer so bad at killing me? They eventually get around to it, but yeah, it's not the fastest. Now, this one I can't prove entirely, but I'm just going to go ahead and just say it anyway. I feel like Beast Companions against this boss make it stand around and do nothing a lot more often. So I'd recommend that you bring Sentinels for this. And it's not that big of a deal either because there's no Steel Essence here, so there's no Steel Essence to double. And that's the main reason to use, well, one of the main reasons to use Beasts anyway. So I've got Shade here. You guys saying Shade, hurrahs, blah, blah, blah. Finally, I'm using Shade. So as far as what we got on here, Synth Deconstruct and Synth Fiber Auto Reload Module holstered. Reinforced Bond for more fire rate. For our shotgun, which will happen after it reloads a little bit, and Tenacious Bond for more crit damage for our shotgun as well. We've got Ghost to make us go invisible. This is why you should fire your gun before you grab the canister for the first phase, because if you don't, this thing will make you invincible, and then the enemies will not be able to kill you. You need the enemies to kill you, so go ahead and grab that. Also, Vacuum, great to pick up the loot. There's a lot of loot in this. You could also use the Itzal ARchwing's ability to grab all that loot, so very good stuff. And also, Primal Instinct, again, there's a lot of loot here. You want to go grab that loot pretty badly. As far as the Sentinel weapon, just have enough crit chance to get the Tenacious Bond act, which is over 50% crit chance. So anything they can hit that. Okay, I think we went over Nova enough. Let's go on to the next frame here. And the next frame, let's go to Volt next. So as far as Volt, there's multiple builds you could use on here. Now as far as the ones I'd recommend, there's going to be 2 of them. The main one we used today was Thermal Transfer Volt. So because the Infested are weak to fire damage now, you can use Thermal Transfer, which gives you fire damage, and it also can give you ice damage too for blast. I'd recommend casting both. It's a total of like 500% extra elemental damage with Thermal Transfer. You can also use Shock Trooper for another 375%. It's like 800% elemental damage. totally destroys everything. It's really strong. And also, if you have a Wisp on your team, Arcane Bellicose gives you more power strength the more HP you have. So powerful Wisp mounts means more power strength for you. This does not work on Nova because we have a Bleeding Dragon Key reducing our health massively. But yeah, big thing here, just make sure you can buff things up. Now, if you don't want to do this, you think you have enough damage already, you can also do Rest and Rage from Equinox. As long as you have the correct energy color, it's another version of Speed Nova. So cast the Helminth ability, Rest and Rage from Equinox. The day version will make the enemy move faster, and as long as you have high power strength, they move very, very fast. So with this build, 75% speed increase for the Hemosight and a damage vulnerability as well. This is pretty strong, but again, it can make the boss go a little bit too fast sometimes. So use at your own risk. As far as the weapons I got on here, I got the Burston, Prime, and Karnan. Now, this thing can probably kill faster than the Boar, actually, but the problem is you need to get in Karnan ammo. So the infested, like, Hemosight Scythe head you could build in Karnan ammo off of, but that thing should probably be dying so fast you won't have much way to build ammo. So, again, use this at your own risk. It's really strong for slaying out the boss, but you need to have Incarnate ammo constantly supplied. And if you have a crazy Wisp mode, you're not going to have this ammo for very long either. So, yeah, just a full heat damage build, just like I was saying for the previous weapon, to make it where you are melting the boss as quickly as possible. Let's go ahead and show a Pyrana build here. And as far as Wisp or Volt stuff, you just run whatever you want to. Similar stuff to the previous one. Let's go ahead and show Wisp here. Now, as far as Wisp, again, just like Volt, multiple options as far as what you can use for Helminth, but you've got max power strength shards on Wisp and on Volt here. Just the more power strength, the better. As far as which Helminth you want to run, we got Total Eclipse on here. The Mirage Helminth gives you 112% damage buff. You could use Roar instead. Roar is probably easier to use, but I like this one too. So yeah, you can go ahead and rock this. And the nice thing here is if you have a Nidus Spectre, it gives you a huge power strength buff for your Wisp modes to buff everyone up a lot. So really good stuff on that front. And of course, again, you could use Roar instead if you prefer that. And Sprint Boost is really, really good. As far as the other stuff, we've got the Offentis. Now, the Offentis can be used to buff your guns, to give recoil reduction, reload speed, blah, blah, blah. You don't really need it. But if you want to, just go ahead and grab this. It's from Call's Garrison. But yeah, for the Pyrana Prime DPS build, it's going to look very, very similar to the Boar build. It's just a fire proc build. We also have some magazine size in here. Again, ideally, you can kill 2 Hemosight heads in 1 magazine. If you can't, that's probably not going to be the best speed run ever. So, yeah, this is good, because also the bag bubble's not going to always work either. Yeah, good stuff here. As far as replacing the Riven, just throw on like Augur Pack there, I guess. Just something that's decent. Deadhead can also be good over a Nerva if you don't want to run that. And as far as the Vastilok, I don't think I showed the Vastilok yet, but let's go ahead and show Mag's build. Again, Wisp can use Roar instead too. So for Mag, this one also is very flexible, but the big thing I'll say here is that the Helminth could definitely be replaced. We got Energized Missions on Mag, but the big thing is, as far as when to place the bubble for Mag, I would say wait until the Hemosight's at the end of its pathway, and then cast your bubble for Mag, okay? It's kind of hard to get used to, but trust me, it's pretty strong once you get it down properly. But yeah, let's go ahead and show the build on her. Now the thing is, with Mag, you do want to have some casting speed to cast that bubble right away. Just basically cast the bubble once it's done at the end of its path, shoot it a bunch, and then it should be the boss should be dead. The only head that might not be dead yet is the Scythe head, so you should probably have somebody camping the Scythe head in case the bag bubble does not work. But yeah, this amount of range should be fine. Magnetized Discharge Augment to give more range for your bubble. This should cover the boss with the bubble very, very easily. Energized Missions, spam a bunch of bullets. You can also put Rest and Rage on Mag instead of Volt, but my Mag build does not have as much strength as my Volt build, so I decided to go on with Energized Missions on her. But yeah, there's other options too. You could honestly throw on Nourish if you wanted to, or like Dispense or something like that. And as far as the Vastilok build here, you just want to go as much attack speed as possible with Shattering Impact. If you're using the Vastilok as Nova, you can use Dispatch Override and Elementals like Wind Up Speed to shoot an enemy with the Vastilok to get this Dispatch Override proc to give you like basically a mini Volt speed for your ARchwing. And as far as the ARchwing, let's not forget the ARchwing. That can be very easy to forget. I got the Itzal ARchwing here. Itzal ARchwing is the fastest. I think there's like an ability for the Amisha that might be useful here too. And the Elytron can also be, you can use the Elytron's fourth ability to knock the Hemos out of the boil a little bit faster, but it's really going to be up to your personal team comp preference. For me, I just go with the Itzal with max speed, Hyperion thrusters, and I think that's the only speed mod really. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So Hyperion thrusters maxed out. The rest of the stuff shouldn't matter too much. But yeah, guys, as far as min-maxing a little bit further, if you have these RNG Invigorations, some of them can be really good. Like this one, for example, it's going to be reload speed and primary crit chance. I might use that on Nova, honestly. But some of the other ones, like let's say I was using Nova and I threw this one on. Well, now I can't die anymore because I just got 1,000 extra health. So as far as the team comps, you need, the real core of this is Nova, Wisp, and Volt. Those speedrun frames are extremely helpful to get across the plains just like super fast in ARchwing. And additionally, Nova's portals are used for that drone to really speedrun it. So I'd highly recommend that you do a similar strategy what we got today if you are looking to grind this in the long run. As far as a couple little, tips and tricks before we call it here, steel path versus normal path, I would highly recommend the steel path as long as you have it unlocked and you can somewhat handle it. Again, guys, this is the fake steel path. There are no acolytes here. You can spam energy pads. It's only the steel path in name because DE called it that. It's not this is not an actual steel path bounty. So it's more just like level 200 normal enemies. Like they might have more HP like the steel path, but yeah, there's definitely some of the debuffs missing here. So that's a big thing. Additionally, don't get burnt out from it. I would say like if you want to grind like 10 Forma per day, that's a lot. I grinded out 40 Forma in one day, but reminder too, I was making an updated guide for 2025. So those things are pretty important. Additionally, for your elite on-call crew member, give them the Czar, the Opticore for this part, and yeah, you can just basically chill for these 3 minutes. Getting some thumper kills could be good too for some extra resources and mods. But yeah, we'll have this event until the 24th of September, and I'm sure I'll make another Plague Star video or two before the event's over, just as, we discover more things. Maybe it's like, oh yeah, new strategy guide discovered. So if you guys have any more tips or tricks you want to throw in the comments down below, let me know. Again, the fastest I've ever seen of this is 5 minutes, 2 seconds for a solo run as Nova, and that's with no glitches or exploits. Again, I don't put glitches or exploits in my videos, so we're not teleporting to the floor. We're not, doing this, doing that. We're doing as much as we can with all intended mechanics. So, hope you guys found the video fun and helpful. I'll see you on stream doing Omniforma bundle giveaways, all in Plague Star. If you're playing Borderlands 4, have fun, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.